Hi, in this video we'll be looking at what is a decision tree. So it's basically a way for you to make decisions. I think everybody does it at some level. Most of our decisions are unconscious. So for example, if you end up at if you are deciding to whether to eat ice cream today or not, so you may come up with a decision tree in your head that if I eat ice cream, then tomorrow I gotta go to the gym. And if I don't eat ice cream, then I might lose out on some enjoyment. So you're weighing off the trade. There's a trade-off that you're gonna weigh, right? So that's one type of decision tree where you're looking at options. Which do I go down, path A or path B, and what's the outcome of path A or path B? The other type of decision tree is going to be, I'm going to share with a furniture example here. So let's say if you want to buy a couch, this is not so much about a trade-off, but learning more and more about the person. And you can do both types of decision trees inside LeadsHook. So in the furniture example, let's say you walk into a furniture shop or a store, a retail store, and the first question after the pleasantries are going to be, are you looking for furniture outside or inside? So there's a choice to be made. You go outside, and if the person then could probably ask you, do you live in an apartment or do you live in with a backyard? And you might say, well, I live with a backyard. And they're like, well, do you have a big patio or a veranda or some way where you entertain guests? And you're like, yes. And how many do you entertain at a time? So you might be like, oh, I have 20 people come over to my weekend to my house on the weekends. Then he says, well, based on what you just told me, this is the kind of a couch set or the type of couch or system or whatever you want to call it that you want to buy for the purposes of what you've just told me about your needs and requirements. And that basically is a framework that we'll be using throughout most of the decision trees that we make. And that's just an example of how we can do consultative selling by simply learning more about our leads and prospects, except we're doing it at scale and not necessarily in the furniture example, but you can apply that framework or that pattern anywhere else. So the one that we'll be discussing, the one that I'll take you through step by step in this decision tree, inside LeadsHook, using LeadsHook for decision tree, is going to be this example here. So I've kind of made it already as a decision tree framework, and this is manually what it looks like. This is what a decision tree is. I'm highlighting some of the features which I'll might explain in a later video, but for now it's very, very simple. All we're going to do is we're going to have one question to determine gender. Are you male or female? If it's a female, you get to pick a current body type. If it's male, you get to pick a current body type. And then we're going to provide an analyze results page, and then we're going to present people with 4 different options, right? And that is a very, very simple decision tree. And lastly, we can transfer the lead to different places, right? So I'll be basically deploying this or implementing this within LeadsHook, and just wanted to share with you the path that we're going to follow. So we basically have 4 paths. First, the gender one, and then the type of body, and then lastly, the results or the post opt-in, what people will see. Right? Once again, very, very basic, and that's what we'll be going through now. Right, so I'll see you in the next video.